What's up, guys? Welcome to, I guess, the third episode of our new player guide, or just general guide to Entropia. In general, this is mainly for new players. I mean, older players might be able to get some use out of this, but this is mainly for new players. And, yeah. So in this episode, we're going to be going over hunting and the various ways to hunt. So, the basics, you pick a weapon that you want to start with. Me, I use laser rifles, just because they go pew-pew instead of brah, brah. That's my whole reason behind it, right? Now you can use swords, you can use knives, you can use mind force powers as well. You can do that. Like mind force, maybe wait a little while before you get into mind force. So I'm gonna go with like what people usually start off with, which is usually stuff in the trade terminal, but for me, I'm going to be using my Barbarella, which I got with my starter pack years ago. I'm still able to use it, and it's a good time. Me and my Barbarella, we've had many a good time together. And now, you would have noticed that I'm not wearing any armor. Now, when you're hunting as a low level, just don't bother wearing armor. I mean, it looks cool, so if you want to wear it, but if you want to maximize... I say maximize. If you want to reduce the amount of things that you have to worry about PED-wise, you just want to worry about the repair of your weapon and the ammo that you're using, then just don't bother wearing any armor. The clothes do decay, but over time they cost like nothing. So I'm out. Camp Icarus which is the starting point on Calypso, is right here. Right here. So I'm on this island here, where there's some level 3s. And I think there's some level 2s, yep. So, there's a few ways you can hunt, right? You can do a straight up hunt where you just go ham on a creature. Alright? And then you get your loot. There's that, which is, the standard way to hunt. And you can, spend as much or as little as you want on these guys, really. So that's the basic. That's the bare bones. You go out there, you shoot the mob, you get the loot. That's the basic. If you're willing to do a little bit extra work, you can do something called swanting, which is sweat hunting. You use your sweat extractor, you find a creature, and now you can either sweat the creature completely dry, i.e. take out all of the sweat from the creature, or you can just do one successful pull of the creature, like sweat pull of the creature, and then kill it. It really depends on what you want to focus on that specific day. You want to focus more on your hunting abilities, your looting skills and your combat skills and things like that. Well, then draw once and then kill it. You want to focus more on your sweating? Well, then I suggest you drain the whole thing dry. So generally, this is how swanting would work at a low level. You would find a creature, you would start collecting sweat. Now, if you're close to a place that has a turret, like Camp Icarus or a few other places, you can essentially sweat one creature dry and drag it over to a turret and have the turret kill it instead. So we got a little bit of sweat. How much was that? So I got 3 bottles of sweat. So the maximum you can get on any given pull is 4 bottles of sweat. The minimum is 1. It used to be a lot more. But yeah. So let's say you're like, no, I don't want to pull any more sweat because we're unarmored and I don't want to have to die and then go back to the area. So you start killing it. You get all the loot that, you get the loot back, and you also have a little bit of sweat. Now, ideally, you would want to get, ideally you would want to sweat the creature dry, but these level 2s and 3s are a little bit more annoying to sweat dry and then kill, right? They're a little bit more annoying. But what you can do is you can sweat them once, get one successful pull, and then shoot them and kill them. And you can either heal up with either a tool, or you can wait a little bit and then heal up. It all really depends on what you want to do. If you want to minimize the cost of your hunt completely, then I suggest just waiting around and letting your health bar basically heal up. Depending on your health regen rate and all that sort of stuff, it'll either go up, it'll either, do it a decent amount per minute, or it would be bugger all per minute. And, that's subject to things like rings and pills and all that stuff. Sometimes the more pills you pop, the, more your health regens. Sometimes. I don't think the health regen pills actually stack on each other. Like, if one has, 30% and another one has, 50%, I don't think they stack. But, anyway. So that's one way you can sweat. That's one way you can hunt. You can, sweat a creature either dry or just one pull and then kill them and then get the stuff. Another way you can do it is, but you're going to need lower level mobs for this. One way you can also do it is you can go to an area that has really low level mobs, and I'm talking about level 0s. So there's a creature called a Sabakuma hatchling, or crap, I forgot the name of the damn thing. I do have it in my thingo though. At least I should. At least I thought I did. Maybe I don't. I guess I don't. Funny. Haven't gone after those guys ever since the new codex thing launched. So you got these Sabakuma hatchlings, right, that are level 0. They have 10 health. So per creature you can get 10 bottles of sweat, right? And usually it might cost, I don't know, 3 or 4 PEC to kill a creep, one of those things, right? So one of the things you could do is, if you can find them either near water or near a turret, what you can do is you can sweat one of them dry, drag it either near the turret or into the water by just running over to the water, into the water, or running over to the turret and let the turret or the water kill the creature. And you can do that to 4 or 5 of them, and then what you can do next is then just straight up kill one of them with your gun. That's a long sweat hunting sort of game, right? That's I am 80% sweating, 10%, 20% hunting. It's that sort of thing. So that's one way you can do a sweat hunt, right? So another hunting style that you can do is what I like to call the long hunt. Alright, and I'll demonstrate this once I get over to the spot. So we are currently northeast-ish from Camp Icarus, right? There's Camp Icarus, we're about northeast. And we're in this big open plain here. Now, what do I mean by a long hunt? Now, other people might have a different sort of terminology for it, but it's essentially you're going to an area where there are mobs close to your level, so creatures close to your level, but they're spread very, very far apart, right? So, let's say here, you got a mob here, and you got one up over there, but you look that way, you can't really see anything, and there's nothing really on your map. So what you're going to do is you're going to kill these guys, whatever guy you find. Now, what is the point of this? Why would you go to an area that's not as densely populated? Because you're going to be looking for fruit and stone, right? You're going to be looking for fruit and you're going to be looking for stone. So you're going to be keeping an eye out for fruit and stone wherever you go, right? And ideally, you want to go, I don't know, a good 20, 30 meters before you run into a creature, right? You want to go about 20, 30 meters or so before you run into another creature, before you kill another creature. And you might be thinking, well, what's the point of that? Well, when you kill a creature, there's a chance that you're not going to really get... There's a very high chance you're not going to be getting back what you put in, loot-wise, right? So if you're doing this a long hunt, or a hunt that's a bit more spread out, you're covering a large area, right? Which means that you'll have a higher chance of finding fruit and stones. Now, fruit and stones, they are generally worth, you know, well, at least they were. Not so much these days, but they were worth quite a bit. But they are still worth more. They are worth more than, say, sweat. Per 1,000, they're worth more than sweat. And you can sell them on the auction house, which makes selling them a lot easier. I think we went over this in the last video, or in the last new player guide. So these long hunts, or spread out hunts, or gathering hunts, or whatever your terminology, what you want to use for it, is essentially a hunt that is creatures are so spread out that you cover a large area and kill very few. You cover a large area, you kill very few, and hopefully you come across either fruit or stone. But that will take a long time for me, so I won't actually be able to demonstrate finding the fruit or the stone. I don't think, anyway. I mean, I could pause and then unpause when I find the fruit or the stone. But, yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright, so it's only been like a minute since I started, and here is some carrot. So these things will always have a sort of a yellow thing on the outside. And yeah, it was only like a minute since I paused the recording, so it really doesn't take all too long. There are certain places where you would have like far more luck at finding like fruit and stuff. Now, this was 57 carrot, and I guess I could probably sell it for this amount. I might be able to sell for like, obviously I would have to wait until I've got a big chunk of them, right? A big chunk of them, and then I'll sell them in the auction house, and I might make the contribution of this amount right here might come like it might contribute maybe 8 or 9 PEC, right? 8 or 9 PEC. But let's say you've been hunting, and things have been relatively good. Maybe you got a global, maybe you got a decent loot size, something like that. Well, you know, that's just a little bit extra, a little bit of a bonus on top. It's a little bit longer than, like, it's not as major as, like, you don't get that little bit extra that you would when you're sweat hunting or swanting. But you're not wasting a shitload of time, right? You don't have to sit there and waste a lot of health and time trying to sweat a creature dry, right? But that comes to our last and final hunting style for newbies, which I like to call the long game, right? This is the long game, right? Now, with the long game, you're going to combine the two aspects together, right? And this is the long game because you're going to be at this for hours. If you get a hunt in like this, you're going to be at it for hours, and you might only use up maybe 5 to 10 PEDs of ammunition, which makes it a very cost-effective way to do things because you'll get them skills, right? You'll get sweating skills, you'll get hunting skills, and you'll also find fruit and stone. So essentially, you would find a creature like this, you'll sweat that bastard. You'll either sweat it dry, or you'll get one pull. Me, I like to sweat them dry, but it depends on their level. Like this guy, he could hit pretty hard. Right? I don't have a massive evade skill because I have experimented with different things, right? So, I got 2 bottles of sweat from this guy so far, so let's see if we can get one more, like, pull. One more successful pull, and then, you know, we'll kill it, right? I doubt we will. We get to half health, then I'll just shoot it dead. Okay, we're just going to shoot it dead with my bigger gun. Yeah. So if you have a bigger gun, then doing these will be a lot easier because you won't have to worry about a whole lot. Now, the trick is when you're doing this, you want to find a wide open space with not a lot of mobs. Because a few things. While you're looking out for stones and fruit and things of that nature and common dung, while you're looking out for all of that stuff, your health is going to be going up. You're going to be healing, okay? So you're going to be healing, and you're going to be looking for stones and fruit. So while you're distracted looking for stones and fruit, you're not going to really notice your health bar like replenishing until you decide, oh, maybe it's been a minute or two, haven't really found anything, but there's a creature over there, so I'm gonna shoot it. That's a chirpy. But there's a creature over there, so I'm gonna shoot it. But I'm gonna gather more sweat and then I'll shoot it. There's those like little things that will, which makes what I like to call the long game a little bit more, I want to say cost effective, but this is there's going to be a bunch of people out there that'll be like, this is not a good way to hunt. If you're looking to hunt, like straight up hunt, look, I've got like 50 PEDs worth of ammunition. I'm using a starter weapon. I'm hunting some level 1, level 2s. I've got like 2,000, 3,000 shots. Then just hunt, man. Then just hunt. You don't have to, if you don't have to worry about it, then don't worry about it. Me, I don't know. I like to do this sort of stuff because it adds a little bit to the game, right? And now you get to explore as well, right? So while you're doing this, you're exploring, you're finding extra stuff, right? So you might find a new teleporter. You might find a new mob that's more appropriate for your level that you're like, hey, I'm going to hunt these guys today. And I'm going to, I'm going to hunt these guys, and who knows, it might be fruitful. It might not be. You don't know at the end of the day. But this is a very long and time-consuming way to play the game, right? It's very long, very time-consuming. This is something you want to do while you're listening to an audiobook, or while you're chatting to people, chatting to people in your social group. If you've got a couple of friends, you guys could probably do it together and split all the profits and stuff. You could split the fruit that's found. Like, one of you guys could be here, another one could be like up here, another one could be like down there, and you just go north, or northwest in my case. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, is there any other way that I can hunt? Not really. If you're a high level person, you can come out to like a place that's hardly populated by players, like no players, but low level mobs, and you could do what I call a speed hunt, which is basically you pick an overpowered weapon and you blow the creatures away, because generally you get a percentage back of what you spend. Trust me, I've tested this. Until they change it, until they change up the looting algorithm. As far as I can tell, you get a percentage back on what you spend on a hunt. But that's just my opinion. But unless you want to do something like that, no, you're either hunting, or you're doing a sweat hunt. You're doing a swant, or you're gathering fruit and stones while you're you're doing a long hunt, or you're doing the long game, which is sweating, gathering, and hunting at the same time. Now, a lot of the time you're going to get lucky. Like, you're going to be just hunting in an area, and then all of a sudden like a papillon or a bombardo or something will just pop out, and you'll be like, ooh, cool, fruit. Then you take the fruit, you put it in your storage, and then you sell it once you've got a few thousand. That's generally what's going to happen. So, that's pretty much it when it comes to the hunting, guys. It's pretty straightforward. So hunting itself is straightforward. You get a thing that you want to use, and then you blow them away, and then you get the loot. That's straightforward. Sweat hunting is a little bit slower, but you get sweating skills and hunting skills, depending on whether or not you want to do one pull or multiple pulls. You can get more sweating skills or more combat skills, but either way, if you're going to be killing the creature at the end, I say take that little extra time and try to sweat it dry if you're able. Then you have the gathering, which is like the fruit gathering, and the stone gathering while you're hunting, which is the, finding an area like this and going ham. But that's pretty much all it is when it comes to hunting. There are nuanced stuff like, what sort of weapon do I use on a specific creature? What sort of armor do I use on a specific creature? Because certain creatures might do frost damage, certain creatures might do more laceration or cut or piercing. So what sort of armor should I use, right? Because there's, there's acid, burn, cold, cut, electric, impact, penetration, shrapnel, and stab. This is what my ghost armor protects me from. But there's other stuff. Hey, that wasn't too bad. I actually think, I made a profit on this hunt. Woo! Profits! Which, because I just took out 5 PED worth of ammunition. So, a little bit of a profit. And I get to finish this video off on a high. So, yeah, so when it comes to the armor, that's a little bit more nuance. Same with the weapons, it's a little bit more nuance. It really depends on what you're going after. Do a little bit of research, go on to like Entropia, or ask other players, be like, hey, what sort of damage do they do? What armor is best for them? Go on the rookie chat, go on standard main chat, just do that sort of stuff, ask around, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Anyway, guys, I've spoken long enough. Those are that's the general gist of those. Will it guarantee you to make a profit? No. Well, it depends on how you do it. If you do the one where you sweat a creature, or sweat multiple creatures, and then kill a creature, there's that chance for a little bit of a profit. But, no. Generally, this is sort of just to offset costs. Really, for a profit, you're looking for that global. Really, realistically, you're looking for that global if you're out to make a profit. But don't be out to make a profit, just be out to play the game, because it's fun. It is a fun game. Anyway, guys, in my next one, I'm going to be going over mining and traveling and things like that. Mainly traveling. In the next one, I'm going to touch on traveling, because traveling is very important. Mining I'll do in a later video, because I want to do a little bit more research on it, because there's a few new things that I've discovered that I didn't know before, so I don't want to spout bullshit until I know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be talking about traveling in the next one, because it is something that I've seen, and there might be a chance for you to make a little bit of PEDs from your vehicle. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, I don't have to tell you guys what to do. I've been getting a lot of love from you guys recently, which I very much appreciate. And it's actually blowing my mind a little bit, the amount of, just the amount that you guys are watching, which is nuts. But I'm not going to go on about that. That's just something I'm really happy about. Anyway, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.